One of my subscribers was telling me about this story, and I think I actually did hear about this briefly in passing, considering hits close to home because it's like in my backyard. Now, I don't live in DC, but I call it my backyard because DC literally feels like my backyard. Um, and I can't remember what subscriber of mine it was that sent this to me, but if you're out there listening, shout out to you. Now, this is going to be a very interesting Straggtales, and usually I don't jump onto these type of videos prematurely if there's no identity there, but because of the ages of these girls. Yes, the ages of these girls. I cannot just sit on the story and wait for their identities to be revealed because they're minors. They're not going to reveal their identity because both of these girls involved with this are age 13 and 15. And when you hear about this story, you're probably sitting here wondering, how in the world were they able to do something like this? As crazy as this story is, like, how did they do that? And it's definitely going to have repercussions for sure behind this, considering the outcome. So you're looking at this picture right here, and this is the outcome of what happened with this messed up vehicle right here. Basically what happened was this 13 and 15-year-old girls carjacked an Uber Eats driver, and this was the end result. And the driver, from what I heard, ended up dying from this. So basically it was a botched carjacking. So they most likely murdered him unexpectedly, or they weren't trying to do it, but that's what it ended up boiling down to. So let me go ahead and read the story. 2 teenage girls have been charged in the carjacking death of an Uber Eats driver this week in Washington, D.C. Muhammad Anwar, age 66, of Springfield, Virginia, was killed Tuesday afternoon near Nationals Park, the Metropolitan Police Department said in a statement. Anwar was working as an Uber Eats driver, says a GoFundMe page set up by his family. We are devastated by this tragic news, and our hearts go out to Muhammad's family during this difficult time. An Uber spokesperson said, according to affiliate WTOP, we're grateful the suspects have been arrested and thank the Metropolitan Police Department for their diligence with this investigation. The girls, aged 13 and 15, assaulted Anwar with a taser while carjacking him, which led to an accident in which he was fatally injured. The girls were charged with felony murder and armed carjacking. The younger girl is from the southeast section of D.C. The fact that they said southeast already lets me know that at least one of them is black, but I believe both of them are. The older is from Fort Washington. Oh, she's definitely black. Police said Anwar immigrated from Pakistan in 2014. His family said on the GoFundMe page. He was a beloved husband, father, grandfather, uncle, and friend who was always provided a smile when you needed one. He leaves behind a family near and far who cherish, love, and miss him dearly, the family said. I feel absolutely nothing for these two girls right here. They were old enough to go and try to carjack someone and have a taser. Where the hell did they get a taser from? And to try to steal his car. Apparently, it sounds like to me, in the midst of them tasing him, there was a struggle. Because that's the only way I can see this being like a car accident. Because usually if someone gets tased, they'll just kind of freeze right there from the shock of the taser. But it sounds to me like there was a struggle and he tried to get away. And that's what resulted in him crashing. And that's how his car ended up looking. Thus ended up leaving him dead. Those two girls, their lives are done before they even get started. I mean, you got to think about it. 13 and 15. They are finished. It's every sense of the word. There's no coming back from that. Their lives are complete. Like, they're going to be, especially with the charges, they got felony murder. That right there alone holds a lot of weight. So that means they're going to be most likely going to juvie, and they're going to stay there until they're both 18, and then they're going to go to a bigger prison. They're done. It's a wrap for them. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. If you have not done so already, make sure that you text the number that is pinned down in the comments below to receive notifications every time I upload a new video or go live. Okay, so I wanted to come back on here and add a little bit additional information in that I found out after the initial recording of this video, and also tweak a little bit of what I said in the first part of the recording. And by the way, this is the picture of the man who was killed in the carjacking gone wrong, and as you can see, that's his car right there, and it's flipped over. Like this thing was just bad all the way around. And there's actually video footage of this. I have not watched the video. I do not plan on watching it. Like they said, it's extremely graphic. And based on the details that I've seen so far, it is that bad. So basically, there is video footage of this guy basically confronting the two girls in his car. Like you can actually see, I'm actually looking at a thumbnail off side of this picture that you see on your screen where he's pulling up, like he's on the side and they're both in the car and he's trying to figure out like why are they in his car. One of the girls has an orange hoodie on. It looks like an orange hoodie, and I can't really see the other one that's in the driver's seat. And you know, they confront him, they tase him, and then when he's trying to like stop them from pulling off with his car, he's literally dangling on the outside of the car. Like he's literally dangling. Because I was wondering to myself, how did he like get thrown? Because they said that he got thrown from his car. So basically when they drove around, they tased him, I guess his body just flung out of the car and he just flew out into the street. And then the car ended up looking like this. And then also in the video, and this is what makes it even more disturbing, was finding out that one of the girls' only main concern after doing this was getting her phone. Like if you watch the video, you can hear her clear as day say, "Where's my phone?" or something along those lines. Like that's all she cared about was her phone. She didn't care that she just tried to steal this person's car. She didn't care that this person was dead. All she cared about was her phone. I don't care what happens to either one of these girls. They deserve every punishment possible. And I would not be surprised if they're going to charge them as adults. Because like I said in the first part of the video, they already got felony murder as a charge. That's a heavy charge to have as a child. So like I said, they're either going to charge them as adults or they're going to be in juvenile hall until they're both 18 and then charge them as adults. But their life is done. They're done. There's really no coming back from this. Like there's nothing they can do or say to bring them back from this. Like the fact that this girl only cared about her phone lets you know she didn't care about this man's life. They didn't care. All they cared about was trying to steal this man's car. And look at, and this is what happened. This was the end result.